Guy car right there, gets up the racetrack, gets into the left rear of the 5, and then...
Today battling for 7th place there with Kyle Larson. Kyle, we saw a little...
Sure, it's my fault, but hate it for my guys, everybody on the Rebel Camaro. We can't afford days like this, so...
On a day when several tires blew out on the track, Kyle Busch encountered even more serious issues at the Iowa Corn 350 on Sunday evening. But not just Kyle, as this could also have serious consequences for RCR. Could Busch be on his way out of the team? On Sunday, Busch was in a good spot on the track when something happened to his car. He soon drifted off, dropping numerous positions before entering pit road to investigate the situation. Unfortunately, it was more than simply a busted tire. Kyle Busch was unable to finish Sunday night's first Cup Series race at Iowa Speedway due to several mechanical difficulties. This was simply the latest roadblock in his way this season, but it had a huge impact on his playoff hopes. Busch began Sunday's race just 8 points behind Bubba Wallace, who held the last playoff position. He is now 31 points behind the cut line. The number 8 Richard Childress Racing Chevrolet had pace early in Iowa, allowing Busch to gain 1 stage point. On lap 269, the situation changed radically. He smacked the wall and proceeded to pit road. Busch returned to the track, but stopped on lap 273 due to a mechanical issue. The number 8 team repaired the car and drove it out of the garage, although this was only a brief comeback. Another malfunction brought Busch back to the garage, thus ending his night. "Yeah, I don't know what happened, but next-gen parts and pieces broke," Busch said. "Something in the left rear suspension. I don't know if it was a toe link or what it was, but it changed the skew of the back of the car and it was just undrivable doing that. We came in and fixed it. Rolling back out, we broke the belt. I have no idea, but frustrating for sure. Not what we wanted for all of our Num 8 Zone Chevy guys, everybody from Quick Star. We were having a pretty decent day. I thought we had a top 10 run going. We had an opportunity there to score some points, but it wasn't meant to be." Busch's 35th-place result, which earned him only 3 points, was the third straight race in which his finish did not represent the pace of his car. Last weekend at Sonoma Raceway, Busch had top 5 pace in the number 8 Chevrolet. He was in 5th place on the penultimate lap of the road course race when Ross Chastain collided with him, sending him spinning. Busch finished 12th and missed out on 7 points. Busch also got top 10 pace at Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 2nd. However, he wrecked toward the finish of Stage 2 while racing Kyle Larson for 6th position. Instead of gaining 3 or 4 stage points in that stretch, Busch finished 35th overall with 2 points. Kyle Busch finished 35th at Gateway after crashing during Stage 2. This season represents an exception in Busch's career. The 2-time Cup winner has only 5 top 10 results and 2 top 5s during the first 17 races of the season. His average finish is 17.9, his lowest since his first season in 2005, 21.0. It is possible that he may go winless for the first time in his Cup career. If this happens, Busch's record-breaking streak of winning at least one race every season would come to an end after 19 seasons. The perplexing thing about these outcomes is that not all of the low finishes are caused by the same reason. Sometimes the number 8 squad delivers a car to the race that lacks speed and control. Other times, there is speed, yet an unforeseen event occurs. Sunday's race was just another example. But this meant that Kyle Busch fell farther behind in the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs with his second DNF in 3 weeks on Sunday night at Iowa Speedway. With 9 races left in the regular season, Busch sits on the outside looking in. He is now 31 points below the NASCAR Cup Series postseason grid cutoff. In 3 of the past 5 races, Busch finished 27th or below. He is still winless despite having 3 victories with the Num 8 club at this stage 1 year ago. Busch has never missed the postseason during the elimination era. But even though times are tough right now, the 2-time Cup winner is striving to rebuild Richard Childress Racing into a winning operation. You always envy the Jimmy Johnson, Chad Knaus era, and you look at that and you're like, damn, it looks so easy. And they made it look so easy and made the rest of us feel so dumb, Busch said. Then 2015 to 2019 happened with me, Adam, Stevens, Ben, Bishore, our group of guys where it was like, okay, wow, it can be easy. This does exist. If you're not finishing in the top 3 on a given day, you pretty much screwed yourself. So it can happen. It's just a matter of being able to understand everything to the finest, littlest detail of what's in your race car. Why do you have that right front spring? Why do you have that left rear camber? Why do you have whatever you have where you have it, and understanding what all of those pieces do together to make you fast, and so that's what we're towards. Fast cars cure all. Next, obviously, you've got to have good pit stops. We're working on all of that. Busch has been strong at assessing car performance throughout his career, so what's changed now? We have way less time now, right? Busch responded. I mean, ever since COVID. And look at my results. There's just not enough practice for me to dissect and dive into the car. That even kind of happened the last year that I had Adam Stevens as crew chief, where we would unload at racetracks, thinking that all the sim stuff is correct, and what you see in sim translates to the racetrack, and it doesn't always do that, but I can help dissect and figure out and get the car, and probably a lot of is me too. I have a feel that I want to feel. When I feel that, I'm way faster than me just having to ride around in a car that feels like it just came off the truck. Busch also addressed the possibility of returning to Joe Gibbs Racing following Martin Truex Jr.'s announcement that he will no longer drive full-time after this season. I would say anything's possible, always, Busch said Saturday. Certainly if I was welcomed, I would go back. If Hendrick welcomed me back, I would go back. But right now I'm at RCR with my group of guys and the deal that I have right now in place. So we're trying to work and build this program and make RCR great again. When asked if he will return to Richard Childress Racing in 2025, Busch responded, correct. But it's clear that Kyle Busch's route to the Cup Series playoffs with RCR becomes increasingly tricky as the weeks pass. And this has sparked the question if Busch will stay there. What do you think? Will Busch still be with RCR in the coming seasons? Busch still has to fight for a playoff spot, and of course, the most straightforward way for Busch to secure a position in the field of 16 is to reach victory lane. But for the two-time Cup Series winner, victory lane feels far away right now. That's not to suggest Busch hasn't had a quick race car on occasion, but luck hasn't been on his side. Despite his struggles this season, Busch's old Joe Gibbs Racing colleague, Denny Hamlin, feels he is far better than the numbers indicate, according to his Actions Detrimental podcast. They are on a slide right now for sure, Hamlin said. I don't know where he was running. I saw on social media that they thought it was a top 5 car. I didn't see him most of the day because of where I was running, so I can't really speak to that. But certainly, Kyle Busch is better than his results are showing right now, and the team itself is better than the results that they're showing. Some of the luck, I hate the word luck in racing because you do make your luck most times. If you get caught up in a wreck running 15th, well, you shouldn't have been running 15th because that's where the wrecks usually start. So, luck is an overused word, but certainly they've had some misfortunes. Some of that was on them, and others, it just happened. With his P35 finish at Iowa, Busch has now finished outside the top 10 in 5 straight races. Busch, who won 3 races in his first 15 starts last season, is on a 38-race losing skid, the longest in his career. For the first time since 2004, he might go without a regular season win. What are your expectations? Will Busch still be able to reach the playoffs? And will he still be able to win a race this season? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.